Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Sunday, November 19th. Welcome. This is like my fourth time trying to get this going. You'd think I could remember the date by now. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I've had quite a few new people subscribe recently. If you are one of them, let me know if somebody shouted me out or how you came across my channel. I'd love to thank somebody if that's how you heard about me. Anyway, yes, it's been longer than I wanted it to be, and it has been the same kind of busy, stressful, stupid that it always is. Last weekend we had Addison's baby shower in Houston. We left Saturday morning and came home very late Saturday night. I was still making the diaper bag for her on Saturday morning. I filmed all of the things that I made, but they have disappeared from my camera, so I told her, you have to bring them all back so that I can show them off. So I haven't seen her since then. So I guess whenever I see her again, hopefully she'll remember. And even if it's not Flosstube time, I can record a little video and then, God willing, figure out how to put them together. We've been to the Renaissance Festival. That was fun. Always enjoy that. We used to eat our way through the Renaissance Festival, but the prices on some of the things have gotten so outrageous that I just can't bring myself to pay $18 for a turkey leg. I just can't do it. But we love to go and people watch anyway, so that was a good time. We will be going to Houston on Thursday for Thanksgiving. I told them, because really my mom and Dax's mom, neither one of them really want to make the turkey, but they also don't want to not do something. So I told them I would make the turkey and bring it, and they could do some sides or desserts or something easier and more fun, I guess. What else? I don't know. I know one thing that's my mind, I can't wrap my brain around the fact that on Tuesday, my babies will be 25. How does that happen? How does that happen? So, yeah, they're catching up with me. I think we've gotten to a place where there's only about 15 years difference in our ages now. Yeah, it's crazy how that works. Anyway, let's just get into the stitching and we can gossip and visit as that goes on. I've got sourdough bread doing its first rising thing. I tried making some the other day and I didn't let my sourdough sit out because I don't have time to make something every day or every couple of days, and so I put it back in the refrigerator to freeze it where it's at, and it's, you know, to halt the process, and then when you let it, take it back out and it warms up, it reactivates and all of that good stuff. I didn't let it reactivate long enough. So Thursday when I tried to make bread, I really made bricks. We're deciding what we should cut it with and what we should build. So it looked beautiful and bubbly today, so we're going to try again. And it's supposed to be rising. Fingers crossed that it actually is. So I guess anyway, we should get on with this. I wanted to start with before I finished putting away the Halloween things that I have made in the past, I thought I would show them. If you've been around, you've seen them all before, I'm sure. And if you're new, I hope you like them. And there is no reason that you should remember any of these, even if you've been around. So, this is one of the, I think it's Halloween row. And I FFO'd it. This is an FFO. All I did was put some interfacing on the back. I fringed the edges all around, and I glued some magnets onto some black buttons, and I magneted it to my tiered tray, because that's easy enough, right? Here's a little, this one's embroidery that I did quite a while back. And it's got pumpkins and black cats on the back. Cute little, this is out of a book. These were all done on shirts, like sweatshirts. Oops. You can see. I seamed that one up in the middle. This cute one. I don't remember where any of these came from, and I really don't keep very good records. So even if I looked it up, I probably couldn't tell you. And then it's just got black pom-pom trim, and then I fussy cut a piece of fabric that was out of, not jelly rolls, what do they call the other? A layer cake? Cupcake? I don't know. One of those. I thought that one's pretty cool. Again, can tell you. Orange chenille. I think I dyed this myself. And then it's just a black print on the back. This is an embroidered piece that I made forever ago. And these were a charm pack. Maybe that's what it is. That I cut into little strips and put it together. Like I said, it's all embroidery. And then it's got the trim on it's brown, those little pumpkins, and I used the little lines that I had left over to just put something different on the back. This again is an embroidered piece, but the pumpkin is colored in with crayons, the cat's hat, and then the spooky sign. Just little things here and there were colored in. And then it's got this on the back, and it's held together with, this is just a little magnetic. That's what I used to hang it up with. It doesn't have anything on the back or anything. Before I've used it laying down, but then the cats lay on it and it gets covered in cat hair. So this time I hung it up. I saw Dawn, Frosty Egg Stitch. She had some of these. There's a bottom piece that goes with it also, you know, to give some weight to it, but that didn't need it. She had finished a project and she used these, and I thought it was a brilliant idea. So I ordered them in black and a set in brown. They're sitting back there, the others. And then this is one that I bought an old sign. I don't even remember what it said. I painted it and put this piece in here. I'm pretty sure this was out of some magazine. But again, I don't keep records. So the best I can do is the name of, or what I called what I was stitching, because what I call it isn't always what the name really is. And the date I started and the date I finished. That's anything more than that, I'm not good at it. I feel like it needs something up here, but I just don't know what. Maybe a bow. I don't have a lot of things with bows. trying to set that one down so it doesn't fall off my desk. And I have one of the, you know, desk mats, so it just wants to slide. So anyway, that is just some of the stuff that I found. I have a whole tub full of Halloween stuff that I can't find, which means it's buried under things I keep buying at auctions. This I am drinking. I bought, Dax loves the fall, and he loves apple cider. And not the kind that's sold on the juice aisle, the stuff that's sold with the produce and is real apple cider. And I bought him some yesterday, but they also had one that is a salted caramel apple cider. And pretty much it tastes like you're drinking a caramel apple. It is so good. Mine has Fireball in it, which makes it even gooder. It actually is very good. Okay, stitching that I've worked on since last time. Friendship quilts will not be done this year. I know it's been on my list of 20. It's for you, Dawn. For years. I feel like it's going to remain for several more. I'm starting to have concerns. I've kind of looked ahead. I'm afraid there's going to be a point where my list of 20 is going to be the same 20 projects for a number of years, because I feel like I'm going to find myself with only big things that are going to take me forever to finish. I think it's a legitimate concern. Then I might have to have, you know, like my list of 50 so I can accomplish something. But here we are. This time I have started, as you can see, some of the back stitching. I've done some in here and started on the windows there. I think I've done some over here too. But I've worked on it more than once since the last time we saw each other. This time, I forced myself to come down here and keep filling in and figuring out how to fudge my mistake. Basically, I've brought all this down one stitch too far. I don't know where that one stitch, that row is up in there. So I'm just trying to, I think I'm going to try to just fill in here. Anything that's here, I'm going to just give it an extra row. But I don't know, we'll see. That's how I think it's going to work. And this pattern has a ton of colors, and I'm actually missing one. I'm missing one in here that would help me get that block filled in so I could move on. But this has been my nemesis for now. But I'm forcing myself to deal with it. I worked on Solitude by Mystic Stitch. It is also on my list of 20. This is part of my concern. I am hoping this, let's see. Here we are. This right here is all I have left to finish this page. I'm actually hoping that I'll be able to do that today. I'm hoping that I'll get enough time to just sit here and fill in. It's probably about 220 stitches, maybe less, left. I really would like to be able to do that today. And if I do, that will give me this page, and this page finishes this year. I know it's a partial page, but in my world, it's a page. This will be the first time that I have actually accomplished my finish 2 pages goal for a year. So, because I'm so full of myself at the possibility that I will actually get that done before the end of the year. Next year, I'm going to shoot for 3. It'll still be a partial because I will do, there's only 1 page left for the width. This is as wide as my fabric is. So there's 1 page here. I will do this page and then do a narrow one down further. But even at that, at 3 pages a year, I still have 4 years to finish this. That's why I have concerns. I don't know. I don't know. That's what I know. I worked on the, what is it? Feline Seasons. I was going to call it Season Cats. I've already done this one. I was going to do them all the way across like that, but I messed up on this one and I missed a row, so it was a row short, and I didn't want to have to figure out how to do it on all the others, so I just cut that one out and made a pillow out of it, and now I am working on summer. And since last time, I filled in some of this and came down and did the legs, the one color in the legs, and then worked on the tail a little bit too. I know, because it's been a while. There's a lot. There's a lot. On the way home the other day from the office, there was a commercial on about some concert, and Dax was like, oh, I'd like to go to that concert. He's like, not with you, of course, but I'd like to go to that one. So, since the Guns N' Roses incident, I have been cut off. He's not nice. Stony Creek Graveyard Halloween. I'm stitching this on a DMC 14 count Aida in Grasshopper. I know that because the tag is still in the bag. My fancy project bag. So here we are. So I finally got, I mean, there are mistakes. He has been fudged, but we're going to live with it like that. We're on to the next gravestone that should say Mr. Bones. Something that I noticed is this one. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be giving you the bird. Here, down here at the bottom, this is where I'm at. You see all of that? That's not how the pattern is. I even checked because I was like, did I screw up again? And what I've done is how the pattern actually is. So, it's my story. I'm sticking to it. You can see here, I do not have much room over on the side. That's it. That is my margin. I hope it's at least that much when I get over to this side. What would life be without things like that to bring us joy and excitement, right? Speaking of life, we had to have Kirsten's dog, Rascal, put down on Thursday. He was a pit bull. He's 15 years old. I mean, he lived a very long life for the breed. We were trying to let nature take its course, but it wasn't. So it was Kirsten's dog. We let her make the decision, and she decided it was time to call the vet. And we have one vet out here that so wonderfully comes to your house. You don't have to, that relieves a lot of stress on you, on the animal, whatever. And it was all horrible. It was all absolutely horrible. Not what they did or anything, just how he got it at the end. And even having to make that decision. None of us want to. But afterwards, Dax had gone to work that morning. I stayed home to get a hold of the vet because he was so awful. Kirsten couldn't even look at him without falling apart. So I dealt with the vet. I stayed with the dog. I did all of that so that she didn't have to. And so that he wasn't alone and everything. But because we knew it was coming, Dax had dug a hole off where the other dogs are buried. And because he's a pit bull and a large dog, the hole was probably 5 feet long by 4 feet wide and 2 or 3 feet deep. It was a big hole. And because nothing in my life seems to be normal without something happening, we were out there, shovels in hand, at the hole, scooping dirt in when 3 military helicopters fly over. Dax was like, don't look at him. Just don't look at him. And because, I mean, we're in a flight path from one base to another, from Austin to San Antonio. But because they're helicopters, they're flying pretty low. There's no way they can't see all of it. I told him we should have thrown down the shovels and put our hands in the air. Put our heads down like we'd been caught. But we spent a few minutes wondering, so is somebody from the sheriff's department going to drive up? Are they going, these people have a pretty big hole in their backyard that they are shoveling dirt over. But you know what? It brought a moment of levity to a situation we didn't even want to be in. But, of course, right? Of course that would happen. Let's see. I worked on one of the things that I started was Ryan's birth sampler. I bought this off of Etsy, I believe. Zendagi Designs. I don't actually know. If you are interested, let me know and I will put a link below because I probably won't remember to just do that. But anyway, here's what I got. I am at the bottom of the horse right here. Somewhere in there, like at his tail. Honestly, I feel like I showed this to y'all last time. Did I? This one is going to be my 25-minute a day in December to try to see if I can get a whole lot done. He is not due until February. So I'm hoping that in December I can get the main stitching done so that all I'll have is the actual date of birth and the size and all of that. I think that's on there, isn't it? Yes. Addison is doing well. I think her doctor keeps sending her, or keeps having her come in for a number of tests that are absolutely unnecessary, but that's just my opinion. Before her placenta was in the way, but as she has grown, it has moved out of the way. She thinks that he feels like he has turned. He was feet down. She feels like he has turned, but she hasn't had an ultrasound in a while, so she's not sure. And she's always teasing Jacob that he's got a pumpkin head. And at her last appointment, that they did do an ultrasound, they told her that the baby has a pretty big head and there is a possibility that she may have to deliver via C-section because of it. So as soon as she left her appointment, she called Jacob to complain about, once again, his big head. And he doesn't really have a big head. I don't know why she tells him that, but she does. And now she's blaming him if she has to have a C-section. But she just passed 6 months. So there's still time. Nothing's determined yet. I worked on, from this Dimensions. If you're new here, I have a love-hate relationship with Dimensions. I love how they look. I sometimes hate working on them. Sometimes they anger me. This is a kit. It's a very old kit that I had found on eBay, but I liked it. So here we are. I just fill it in black. Right now, that's pretty much it on that piece for a little bit. That is on my list of 20. And in my, because I spin the little decision roulette wheel on what I'm going to stitch. And I swear, if that piece was the only thing in it, my roulette wheel would still choose something else. It does not like to choose that piece at all. I worked on, it's called Cute as a Button. It is out of Cross Stitcher Magazine, January 2018. That's what it looks like. I worked on Santa, and I finished him. I should call that a finish, shouldn't I? I could put it on my list, but I didn't because I figured I'll do more. I need to find somewhere I have buttons, the ones that you cover, the metal ones, you know, that are this size. I don't know where they are. And I actually have some big snowflakes that I want to put those in the middle of. I can't find any of it. And right now, because for Addison's shower, I made a baby blanket, I made a bib, I made some little booties, and I made a diaper bag. And as I was working on things, I have a Bernina, a nice, expensive sewing machine that likes to screw with me. It drives me crazy. I want to do simple things. It wants to do way above my pay grade things. And it got to a point where the tension was off. And I looked up everything to make sure, you know, how to test it, where to adjust, all of that, because it's kind of like, I know how to do these things, but I don't know how to convey all of it to a machine that's smarter than I am. So I did that. I couldn't get it fixed. I finally got irritated as all get out. There were lots of words, and I unplugged it. I set it on the floor. I got out my Kenmore sewing machine that I got when I graduated from high school in 1984. And I used it to finish sewing that blanket and the bib. And then I got over myself. Well, I didn't get over myself. The machine, because it hasn't been used in years was making a god-awful squeaking sound. I took the whole thing apart. I put oil on every little thing I could find that moved, put it all back together, and it didn't get rid of the squeak. And I couldn't take that anymore. So I pushed it to the back of my desk, and I put the Bernina back in the front and made the diaper bag with it. I'm not sure if we're getting along yet or not. Because I did not apologize. Anyway, so all of that was happening. And I was stressing out because it was Saturday morning and I was still trying to finish the diaper bag. Because with jacking with the machines, I spent hours of wasted time just trying to get a machine to work. So I was stressed out. I had plenty of other things that I needed to get taken care of for the baby shower. So that was Stress City. But I did get it done at we were going to leave at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. I think I finished it at 8. Nothing like having all that extra time. Anyway, I survived, but in the midst of it all, as things were coming up, when I was cutting out, this diaper bag had about 1 million individual pieces. It took me 2 days just to cut out and iron interfacing on to all of the little parts on this diaper bag. So, in the midst of all of that, and in my frustration, as I cut things out, I threw things on the floor. If something was in my way, I just moved it. So now I have no idea where anything is. So I need to just take some time and figure out what's what, where it is, where it goes, what it is. But right now I just don't have it in me. Just don't have it in me. Anyway, one of my other starts. So that's to say that it's just one more little bit of crazy around here. I started this whiskey. I think I got this on, I don't know if I got it on eBay or Etsy. I don't actually remember. And I don't have any kind of name with where I bought it or anything. I believe it may have been a Dimensions kit. I have been unable to find it as such. So I don't know. I tried, and this was actually all that I could find of it. So I don't know if it's a pirated design or not. But I had ordered this fabric. It's a fabric flare, which is the it's whitewash board that it came in. And this piece is going to be, oh my goodness, what's stuck on here? Holding that off. This piece will be about this wide. I mean, this piece of fabric is doing the whole thing. It will barely fit. But because the boards are printed on here, as you can see, in the wood grain and everything, in my picture, you can see that the boards go up and down. I am not going to be doing that background part because I have wood grain and boards here. Here on the sides, you can see it goes this way, horizontal. It's a word. I may do some of that in here. I started with this glass right here. There's, sorry, a teeny tiny bit printed on this page, which is the rest of that glass. So I started with that glass. I may put the little board, the colors for the boards right there, but I'm not going to do the ones that go up and down, which actually is going to save me a little room at the top, which hopefully will help my fabric fit a little better. This one should have been far down in my starts, because when I buy patterns, I really try to put them at the back and start things in order, so that I don't get to where I'm only starting the stuff that I just bought and I have all this other stuff that's just languishing. But I was so excited about that fabric, I couldn't help myself. So I started it. From Butternut Road, I have Earth Dancer, I think that's right, Earth Dancer. I didn't get a ton done on her. This is where we are. She's another one that is going to be part of why we get to a place where I have all of the same 20 projects going forward for years and years. This time, I did a thing, y'all. I did a thing. I am stitching her hand. That's what I worked on this time. Right here, her hand. That is all I worked on, but I'm doing it 1/1. And I've never done that, the skin 1/1 before. So every tiny little bit of it is a big drawn out thought process for me. So it went quite slowly, but that's okay. It's not a race. It's not a race. From Design Works, we have Native American Fashion. I was excited to be able to get this one out. I think I've only worked on it, maybe when I started it, I may have worked on it one other time. It's kind of far back in the basket of goodies. And here we are. I filled in some up here on the border, and then I can stand it, so I dropped down and started. I think I'm working on this one. So I came down and put in some of the red and the black on that one. So that was exciting. This one, I took this stuff and I put it on Flosstrobes. I don't particularly, I like my floss bobbinated. But with kit things, I don't go and bobbinate them. So usually they're on a card or something, you know, with all of them on one. But I put those on Flosstrobes, and I have a big jumbled mess of thread with plastic rings at the top. It's what it really boils down to. It's not pretty at all. From Little House Needleworks, I'm doing, oh my goodness, America. And I feel like that at some point in my future there could be a finish. We've got the house is mostly done. I mean, the house, I just have this, I've finished the windows. There are 2 more windows here, and then the white. Trying to see if I can get it in better light for you. I think I finished the words, yes. And so there's like a white picket fence and some greenery and stuff, and then some borders at the bottom. But that's not too terribly far off. I hope. I hope. I'm having an avalanche. I did work on my Gothic cows from Cows and More Cows. Here we are. I think since last time I've put in some more of the roof on the barn in the background, and then I'm filling in. I've come down farther here, but then I started coming back and filling in. I'm still angry with this side over here that I had to pull it all back out. So I'm just working over here. I'm sure it feels bad. One of my new starts was, it says original design by Jean Lanning. It's from Art Ventures, Where the Bluebonnets Grow. It says this is from 1985. And I bought a piece of fabric. I don't know if it's going to show up very good at Hobby Lobby, I think. And it kind of looks like blue sky, but I thought that would be good since this is all going to be filled in pretty solid down here. I thought that the blue sky look would be good. And that's where I have that giant, amazing start. For my new starts, I really just generally do one length of thread because I start new things on Sunday. But Sunday is also when I really try to make sure that I get some work in on the Solitude by Mystic Stitch. So I could spend much longer on my new start, but then I wouldn't get the same amount of work on Solitude. So, and because I don't want to have that log jam on my 20, I really need to do all I can. This one is, I bought this one in Etsy. There's the name of the designer. There's no way I can pronounce that. I just thought that was pretty cool looking. There we are. This time I'm just filling in colors on the leaf up at the top. I mean, I'm way up here. We're way up here. So, I think this was my third time to start that one. Because I kept not liking the fabric that it's on. I'm sorry, I keep looking out the window because I keep hearing stuff that sounds like cars. And I'm looking to see if the sheriff's department is showing up to see what we've buried. No, I'm looking to see Abigail and Kirsten are off doing something. I was just looking to see if they're back. From justcrossstitch.com, June 2016. It's the Summer in Chalk. Yeah, I was so excited. I thought, because I came down, I finished all of this. I got this flower, all of the, I needed to do the white around here. I got that all done. My thread that had been hanging up here because it was at the page break, I got it all in and I was like, oh my gosh, I got the first half done. I finally got it done. I don't. There's part of the bee that goes right here, and then part of the next flower is right here. All of it's still on the same page. Oh well. Everybody loves myrrh. One day we'll get to the sum. It was disappointing to say the least. This from DesignWorks. I call it Wonderful Life. I'm sure they have a name for it. Oh, Life. They just call it Life. But it was in a box of goodies that Sherry Smith had sent me. And so a bunch of wonderful stuff. I have a lot of things going on and getting started that came from Sherry. This time I finished the word wonderful. I think I had like just a part of the D in Urfel before, so I finished that. There is, it's hard to see on the pattern picture too, but there are white stitches that will go around that before I move on to the next thing. That's another one that's kind of far back in the box, so it doesn't get to come out and play as often. I've been kind of toying with how would I incorporate being able to touch all of my whips next year, because I have a lot. And mostly what I keep coming back to is it's just going to be more trouble than I want to deal with. So, I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce this designer's name and I can't. Be Mine, Vintage Valentine. I'm pretty sure I bought this one on Etsy, but I wouldn't swear to it. There's the designer and the website. I'm almost certain I did not buy it from that website, but I just love the old Valentine look to this one. I'm still working on the girl. She's on, I think the pattern's 4 pages. And so this is the top of her. I was missing a color that will fill in a whole lot of her hair there. And I finally bought it. So next time I pick this up to work on it, hopefully I can knock out a bunch of that hair. But she's coming along. I was so on Wednesday, every time I start to talk about her, her name escapes me. She is doing that when she is, well, the last video I watched, because I'm generally around June in most people's videos right now. There are a few that I'm in September, but that's about as close to being up to date that I am on anybody's videos. But she is doing that one, and she's, the last video I've seen, she's almost done. She may have finished it by now. They had been trying to sell their house in the last video that I've seen. They could have moved twice by now. I really don't know. But you can go check her out. So on Wednesday, SEW. From Dimensions, Mason Jar lineup. This is another one that will be part of the boondoggle. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get this half done before the end of the year. I was really hoping to be able to, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I do love it. I mean, look at those flowers when you get it all backstitched. I've finished backstitching this time on this one. So these 2 jars are completely done. All the stitching and backstitching has been done. This one, maybe you can see right there, is mostly white. So I do some of the white stitching, and then I've come and I've put in some of the other colors, just trying to get something to make it show. It's this jar right here. How the white, where I, you know, I'd rather be filling in with white than trying to find my way with white on white. It's slow going, to say the least. Anyway, I would love to be able to get that done, and then maybe next year make an actual effort to finish the other half of this in 1 year. At the rate I'm going, that doesn't seem realistic. Speaking of, at the rate I'm going, that doesn't seem realistic. Mirabilia, Santa's Magic. It's a terrible picture, but I cannot find a picture that isn't. I bought my pattern kitted, used on eBay several years ago. So I'm just It wasn't fully kitted. There were a few flosses missing, but I have replaced them since then. This time, I think that all I have worked on was this right here, which is a gold Krynic. I didn't have much time on this day, and with Krynic, I think, I don't know if everybody else does, with Krynic, I have to stitch more slowly, so, but that's okay. I've decided to put in the Krynic, and I'm probably going to put in the beads as I get areas all stitched in, and do that all as I go. I think. I started, this was another start. If you're new here, I am starting usually on Sundays is when I do it, except for during Mania. A new start every week. I'm going to do the same thing again next year. I really need to get more whips finished. But it doesn't matter because, as I've said before, I feel better when I've spent the money on it if I've actually started it. If it's just sitting there for years and I never start it, I feel like I've wasted my money. If I start it, even if I start it and then it sits there for years for some reason, I've convinced myself that that's okay. That's really all it takes. One of my new starts was from Little House Needleworks, Baked Goods. This is one that came in the box of goodies that was stuffed full of goodies from Janet. And it's another one that didn't get put to the back. I pulled it out. But I was looking at things that I may have started this one last Sunday after the shower on Saturday. We got home, I don't know, 12:30 by the time I got home. So after a lot of driving, a lot of activity, it was just, I didn't have it in me to try to do anything complicated. So I looked through stuff that I have that's already in bags and waiting for me in my bucket. That's the starts. I try to pull one from the front, you know, where that's going to be my next start. I wasn't feeling any of them. And so I went to the box of stuff that Janet had given me. And I decided, you know what, this one's small. Let's do it. So this is the third start. And I still am not sure that I like this fabric. I was stitching that leaf on this fabric and I hated it. So I don't know why I thought that suddenly I would love it, but I also hate to throw things away. So I don't know. See, like when I look at it, that white doesn't really show up. But when I look at it here, you can see that white. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing it on this or if I'm going to start it again. But I did do that. It lives in this cute bag that Abigail gave me for my birthday. It is from Carrie Sews For You on Etsy. Sorry, I can't see anything that you're looking at. Sorry. It doesn't look like it's going to focus on there. I can put her shop name down below. And it has, like, you know, look at the coffee beans. And then the zipper pull is a cup of coffee. And then it's got this cute polka dot inside. It is a lovely bag. And it came with this cute little bag, which has the same, I just shut it, sorry. Polka dot fabric inside. Carrie Sews For You on Etsy. How cute is that? So that's where this one's living. I thought baked goods went well with coffee. And on here it has a cute little smiley face. Zipper pull on the little one. This morning I started, Shelly's going to be so proud of me, Ryan's stocking. If you're new, one of my daughters is pregnant, expecting in February, which obviously is when I talked about the birth sampler earlier. And his name will be Ryan. So this will be his stocking, and Shelly will be proud that I started it all already, and it's not a ton of stitching. But this is what I did this morning. It's part of this blue and white box right here. I'm just so scared about everything fitting, but I started in the middle like it said, and I counted, and I did everything I'm supposed to. So it should work out perfect, right? I stitched on February from Snowflower Diaries. I have finished January. January was on my list of 20. None of the rest of these are. I started I got the rest of them going last year, this year. Maybe I did some of it in last year and then some of it in Mania this year. I don't know. But I finished January, and now I have finished February. I was working on this one, trying to push it to a finish. This was being my 25 a day piece for a little bit, maybe last month, maybe part of this month, I don't remember. Because I thought, you know what, I finished January. If I can get February finished before the end of the year, that puts me 2 months ahead. Like I said before, for Ryan, for December, I'm going to work on his birth sampler. That's going to be kind of my 25 a day. Try to see if I can get it finished. But then in January, I'm going to switch back and try to see if I can get these months done. And I want to go ahead and get them FFO'd and have them switch out every month. I'm probably going to take them to the office to switch them out. There are mistakes. My ducks have long legs. It's like in that song Chantilly Lace, where he says like a long-necked goose. I got a long-legged duck. I'm probably showing my age with that. I think Jerry Lee Lewis sang Chantilly Lace. I think. Anyway, I got a long-legged duck. But it's finished. Long legs and all. And then out of March, April 1991, Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, I've been working on this. I'm doing mine like this, though, with all of the animals stacked together, not separate like that. This is on my list of 20. I don't think it's going to be completed, but here, I'll see, because I know this will show through. Y'all aren't even going to believe this. Look how much I've gotten done. The cow is finished. It's bag stitched and everything. I've elected not to do the flowers hanging out of the cow's mouth. I think with the flowers around everybody's necks, that's going to be enough. I've started bag stitching my goat. I have all of the stitching done, with the exception of a bell. The goat's wearing a bell around his neck. The bell on here is done in Krynic, and there really isn't any other Krynic in the piece, so I don't really want to do that, so I have to decide on a color. And you can see I have a pork rump. There you go. Got a rump roast. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm hoping that after I finish the February, I use this piece as my 25 a day. And I had hoped that I could get it done this year, but since I decided to push Ryan's birth sampler next month, I think if I was working on this one next month that I could definitely get it done. But you know, grandbabies come first. So. Okay. I think that's all the stitching I did. I think we got it all. I do have stuff that was in my avalanche that was falling down. I'm trying not to be too loud here. I bought this on eBay. I put in a search. I saved a search when I was looking for Singing the Clothesline Blues. Is that the one? The dimensions. And so now these things pop up. And so, look, this one popped up. So I had to buy it. It was too cute. Now, it is a stamped cross stitch. Stamped cross stitch should be easier, but for me it's very hard because it's much slower. I mean, it's easy enough. It's much slower because I want the legs of my X's to match up. That's pretty easy to do when everything is just the same hole. That's all you have to do. But I bought some fabric because this was going to be one of my starts. I have to do more reading because I don't know what's going on here. This was going to be my start last weekend when I started the baked goods instead. This is another one from the Texas Landmark series. This one was from 1991, but it's Big Bend Country. I kind of like to stitch places that we've been on vacation, Dax and I. So I wanted to start this one, and I thought, well, this fabric would be good. It's just a, it says Weigart 25 count Lugana, and it's in natural, so it's, you know, kind of got the little flecks in it and everything. And I was going to kit it up, but I don't know, when I was going to pull thread colors, I wish I could get this to focus for you. I don't know what to do with all of these places that there's no symbol. There's a thread color, but there's no symbol. So, like I said, my brain was fried. I was exhausted still, and I was like, you know what? No. So, maybe one day I will start it. I'll use this fabric. But for now, no. Just no. I got, my order came in from 1884 Stitchery. And last time that I recorded, I had placed the order and it hadn't come in yet. I don't want anybody to think that McKenna is slow at shipping or anything. I placed my order at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night when I was sitting at the office and just done with what I was doing, and I was waiting for Dax to finish what he was doing so we could come home. And I was scrolling on 1884 Stitchery and ordered some stuff. I got my shipping notice the next morning, so McKenna ships right away. She does a great job. So, and I told McKenna, because when she watched the video, she was kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe it hasn't gotten there. The town I live in prides itself on being slow. For a while, they sold t-shirts that looked like the lettering was like from the Twilight Zone, but it said Wimberley, its own time zone. So, if you're in a hurry for anything, this is not the place. It is not. Anyway, I ordered this fabric because Do I have any idea what I'm going to do on this fabric? No, but look how cute it is. It's freaking adorable. It's a fabric flare. It is snowflakes, and I believe it is a 14 count Aida. But I mean, look at them. They have like little hearts in the middle. I may just frame it just like that. I ordered this one, Love You to the Moon and Back. Prairie Schooler, Old MacDonald, because how cute is that? You could do it together or separate. It would still be freaking adorable. And she threw in, because she knows I love these little doodles, she threw in another little doodle for me. I need to get them started. I'm putting them together. But McKenna kills me because she wrote on the on my invoice, the best one was for the Old MacDonald. She wrote, and on his farm he had a, well, I'm not sure because he's like you and doesn't want guests at his home. If you're new, it's because I love welcome stuff. I love welcome stuff. It's common knowledge, and nobody ever comes to my house. I was laughing yesterday walking in because there's a welcome sign by my front door outside the house. There's one close to the front door, but by the windows. And right when you walk in the front door, there's one for nobody. Okay. And then the last thing I bought, I think, that I remember is last Sunday, no, the Sunday before, Kirsten, Abigail, and I went to Market Days, and then we went to, well, it doesn't matter which order we went. We went to a textile, I don't know if they were having like a retreat and then they were just doing some stuff. They had some people weaving, and it really wasn't all textiles. It was mostly yarn, and people did a lot of weaving and stuff like that. There was a lot of hand-dyed wool for spinning. There was a lot of yarn that was already spun, hand-dyed. There were kits, and they were beautiful for knitting or crochet. But the thing about it is, like, when you have those really nice hand-dyed yarns, in order to make a kit affordable for people, generally the kits are for hats or scarves, and I wear neither one. I almost never wear a hat, and I can't stand anything around my neck, so I only got to go look at how pretty they looked, because why would I make one that I'm almost never going to wear? I've made 2 scarves, and I might wear them once in a year, maybe. But anyway, there was a booth that had silk, hand-dyed silk ribbon. So I bought a couple of different colors in those. Abigail told me I had to buy this one because it was so pretty. And I bought this one because that just needs to go with something that has sunflowers on it. I mean, the browns and the green and the yellow and the way all I could think of was sunflowers. Now, what am I going to do with either one of those? Haven't a clue. But they were so pretty. And so I go and I'm checking out, and the girl that I guess she owns the booth, and she's like, would you like a bag for those? And because we were getting ready to go to Market Days and stuff, I said, yeah, if you have a small bag, that would be great. And she's like, well, I don't know if we have any more small bags. And so she put them and handed me this bag. She put these ribbon in this bag. I should have been paying attention to what she was doing, but she wrestled with it for so long. I didn't have the heart to say, dear God, I do not want that bag. So, maybe I can use that for a really big project bag. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. Since it's been a while, October has ended. Let's see. I ended October with 147 whips. Year to date, I have had 21 finishes. Like I said, I need to, if I don't want the whip number to just continue to grow, not that I really care, I need to finish more stuff, but we're getting all tangled up in the big projects. Out of those 21 finishes, 9 of them are from my list of 20, which is the best that I've done so far. So I'm really not going to complain about that. I don't foresee any more finishes this year. Don't get me wrong, I would be thrilled if I could get another finish in this year. I'm looking at on my list for December. I don't know. There might be one tiny one that I can get finished. I don't know. But there will be more starts. So, I think that's everything that I have. If on this one you have any idea about all of these floss colors with no symbols, I would love to know. Like I said, I guess I read lots of stuff, but I feel like I must be missing something. Or maybe my brain was just not revived enough. I don't know. But if you have ideas, help a girl out. Okay, I think that's it. It might be time for me to go check on my bread. Y'all keep your fingers crossed. The other was not good. It was not good. And I think that's it for now. Y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving, if that is your thing. I'm really going to try to be back in 2 weeks. We haven't decided if we're going to go to Vegas or not. But if we do, it'll be sometime probably after the first week in December. I don't really know. Like I said, we haven't decided. I don't know what we're going to do. I think the Formula One, I hope the mess should be over and what they're going to do, that they'll have done. And then they've got something else big going on, I think, in January, so we don't want to put that off either. Oh, I know what they've got big going on. It's not January, I think it's in February. They're hosting the Super Bowl in Las Vegas, so I don't want to be there during that either. So, I don't know. Regardless, I'm going to try to be back in 2 weeks so that I don't get caught up in putting off because we're doing that stuff. If we do go to Vegas, McKenna, let me know if you're going to be out there. Maybe McKenna and I can do a video together while we're out there, if we can meet up. And I'll try, no promises, but I'll try not to make you sick this time. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for your comments. I do love them. I realize I suck at responding. Usually I read things because they pop up, but usually I wind up responding because I'm in that part of YouTube when I'm trying to get a video to load. So anyway, that's usually when my responses come. Maybe next year that should be what I try to work on for the year. Anyway, thanks for everything, y'all. And until next time, y'all have a good time stitching. Thanks. Bye. Hey, y'all. Popping back in real quick because on this one, I figured it out. Those blank spots are flosses that are part of blends. So their symbol is in another spot on the key. So mystery solved. All it took was a little bit of a rested brain. All right. Thanks, y'all. See you next time. Bye.